is Eggy Drago. I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. It was in early 2024 that I decided to go to an idol show in Japan on a whim because my graduated VTuber Oshi really liked idols. Needless to say, I got hooked. I think we like idols. After I met and talked to two English-speaking idols there, Hyria, Haigumi, I realized every single idol has a story, be it why they chase this dream, their ups and downs, and even their future after all this. And that's what I'm here to do, to give idols around the world a spotlight beyond the stage and a place to tell their story. Every idol has a dream and a story to tell. This is IDOLEYEZ.
Here comes a new challenger!
My name is Shira, and now I can officially say that I am a New York and New Jersey-based idol!
Up next on the show, after debuting earlier this year and a week before her birthday live, Isle of Dreams, alongside OdoreJamu, we'll talk to Shira about her idol journey. All eyes on me. IDOLEYEZ, episode 95. Shira. Whoa. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am the cream of the crop. I am the yolk on top. This is Mighty Eggy Drago with IDOLEYEZ, episode 95, with our guest for tonight. She debuted earlier this year. She is about to have a birthday live alongside OdoreJamu, Isle of Dreams, next Sunday. Wait, no. It is next Sunday? Yeah, next Sunday, June 28th. We have Shira on the show.
Hello.
Pew, 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 pew,
Hi.
pew. Hello, Shira.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to have you on the show before the birthday live. I'm trying to remember when I first discovered you. It might have been before Dream Jam, because I think Jay posted the flyer, or like one of the two Yomiuro Picnic members posted the flyer, and I didn't know who you were, but I followed because I wanted to learn about more idols. So
Yes. Yeah, that was my debut. So, yeah, no one had heard of me before that, except actually I guess that Jay and I teased my I guess like performance a little bit because we did our Short Cakers cover for Valentine's Day a little before that.
Before we start the interview, we got to do an ad read for WSF, who is also helping organize your birthday event. So might as well do an ad read for them, as this show is brought to you in part by Woda Sans Frontieres. Founded in 2025, Woda Sans Frontieres is an event production organization dedicated to running quality Japanese idol culture-centric events throughout North America. WSF's team is made up of dedicated event runners who put the growth of J-pop style idol culture, not their bank accounts, before everything. And we might as well start the show off with a question that I ask every single guest on the show, which is, who or what got you into idol culture / J-pop culture?
I mean, I think that for me those are two separate questions, because for idol culture, like
Love Live.
Ruby, Love Live is really what got me into it. I started watching Love Live when I was in like 5th grade, and playing the game. So yeah, I've been like a diehard for Love Live for almost as long as I can remember. And so that's what really got me into like idol culture in general. And then for J-pop culture and like Chica idol culture specifically, I think that I had a bit of an unconventional introduction, because I actually got to see Neo-Japanism perform live
Oh wow.
at PuchiCon in Pennsylvania. And I had never heard of them before, and I really didn't know very much about J-pop. But I saw that they were performing, and I was like, oh, this would be a really cool experience just to see what this is all about. And it was so unreal, because there were like 20 people in the room, if I remember correctly,
What?
because the con didn't advertise it very
Oh my
much.
god.
And it was, but they still performed like you know, they would in front of like at Budokan. Like it was just they gave it their full energy and it was like super duper inspiring. I loved their music. I fell in love with Hinano. And so that was like they've been my guys for a while. But I guess only recently, I guess back in like January, did I start learning more about like the Kaigai idol scene and other J-pop groups, and started getting more into that.
Hmm. So going from, I guess, focusing on what Love Live, and you watched in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
I started watching like probably middle school as well. So, and that was like
Mhm.
OG Love Live. So yeah,
Yeah.
very very parallel. But I could see from your background that your favorite character or Oshi is probably Ruby, right?
Yes. Hmm.
How much does she resonate with you?
Um, she it's kind of interesting. She's not like now what I'd consider like my usual Oshi type, I guess. But she is has like a very special place in my heart because she's been my Oshi since I was like a little kid. Um, and part of that was because my older brother really liked Daya, and
Oh.
so it was kind of like, you know, we were Ruby and Daya was like the thing. Um, and so I think she was also just really inspired me because like her character, despite being like kind of shy, she still pushes her limits to, you know, be an idol. And for me, I'm actually not a super shy person, so that's not really like my experience, but it still inspired me a lot. And maybe like because I had her to look up to when I was younger, it allowed me to like just kind of push for my dreams like from the beginning.
Hmm. And those dreams are what you're kind of pursuing this idol journey. So,
Yes.
um, so Love Live, Neo Japanism. I remember Neo Japanism was they were here in Vegas, but that would have been like way before I got into Kaiga idols and
Hmm.
or idol culture in general. So you did
Yeah.
say in January you got into Kaiga idols. I assume from Key's birthday, or was it something else?
I think it was like kind of leading up to Key's Birthday Live and then Key's Birthday Live. I think MagFest was when I really got like an introduction. Because I was hanging out with like kind of Alicia. That's who I was hanging out with at MagFest, and we went to the Idol Fest, and it was nothing like any other Idol Fest I'd seen because I was in like the cause idol sphere. And so I'd been to Idol Fests, and seen things, but MagFest for me, it just had a very different energy. And I was like, oh, I didn't know like this is like a thing here, and this is something that I could do. And then like going to Key's Birthday Live and seeing all that, it's like, oh wait, you have the free will to just like do this, and people are interested. I think that was definitely like inspiring. And I knew of Kagaya idols before, but I just kind of thought it wasn't something that I could do, or that I didn't have enough like personality or didn't have the skills to do. I remember I saw Rin Rin at Otakon last summer, which was my first Otakon, and when she performed, I was like, wow, like she's really good. Like this is really cool. And so I think there's always kind of like a desire, just not a knowledge of the community.
Hmm. So you did mention like being in the cosplay idol sphere. Like, did you perform before, or did you I guess cosplay as idols?
Well, I think a bit of both. Like I did cosplay as idols for a while, being like a Love Live fan. But did a few like masquerade performances and things like that. And I'm in a cos idol group as well called Love Spell, and we performed at CPAC last year. And actually, it's funny, it wasn't a super like traditional performance. I designed all of us as Sanrio characters, like, but I turned the Sanrio character designs into idol costumes.
Ooh.
Um, and so that was like it was a huge project, but it was a ton of fun. Um, and so that was a really great performance, something I'm very proud of. But yeah, I was kind of in that community. Um, and then I think more recently saw like the Kaigai Idol community and what it was doing.
Hmm. So, Key's birthday live, Magfest. You're like, if they could be idols, I could be idols too, or I could be an idol too. So what really? When did you like really start planning out? I guess, being on stage for your first performance?
It's kind of interesting. I feel like I kind of like tripped and fell into debuting. Um, because initially I planned to debut at Idol Village,
Hmm.
and that was kind of my timeline. I don't actually remember when I designed my costume. That was one of the first things that I was doing, and then starting to think about what I wanted my set list to be, and like what kind of idol I wanted to be. And then um, I think I was talking to Jay, and Jay was like, "Oh, I'm doing this thing with Yume Piku. Do you want to split my like my set time with me? Because I have, I think it was 30 minutes. So we could split it up if you want to debut a little bit earlier." I was like, "Oh, you know what? Sure, I'll do that." And so then I kind of did everything a little bit earlier. And then also, I guess before that was when we did our Shortcakers cover. And that's when I was starting to plan out, okay, I'm gonna debut at some point, but here's like a little, I guess, pre-debut treat for the people who don't know who I am yet.
Yeah, I mean, we have like one of the photos from, I guess, that shoot.
Yeah.
Two of those photos from that shoot.
Yeah, it's so funny. I haven't done any shoots in my like now my performance costumes, my two costumes that I have. So those are like my only professional photos. But now I have birthday photos, which is good.
Yeah.
So
So before every performance, before like becoming or like going on stage, you have to have a name. Um, so where did I mean, like I know kind of from like the what is it, the bio thingy that everyone
yeah.
did, but what for the people at home? How did you come up with your stage name?
Um, I was thinking about what I wanted, like if I wanted a stage name, what my stage name would be. And Shira actually is part of my Hebrew name. The full meaning of the full name is Shira Tova, which means good song, and
Ooh.
Shira means song. And so I was like, oh, this would be really fitting, because like, you know, it was a name that my parents picked for me, kind of, I guess, uh, guessing that I would be interested in music in some way. Um, and then I was like, okay, I think that this kind of fits my personality and it is like my name. Um, and so that's kind of why I picked it. And it was like a little catchy. So I was like, okay, this is a good stage name, also with some like significance to me. And also, I wanted to kind of share a bit of my culture um, through my name. So I picked a name that was like close to my heart.
I mean, it is a unique name. You don't see a lot of Shiras in this community, so stands out.
Yes.
So with a name, but now you have to have something to wear, I guess, to stand out on stage. So you did say you designed and I guess created your costume. So like, what aspects really went into that?
I mean, I love designing clothing. I'm actually a fashion student right now.
Oh, Liza,
Um,
Liza, chat.
yeah, yeah. Hello, Liza. And so and part of that started with cosplay and with idol cosplays. I've been sewing. I've been doing like competitive craftsmanship for, I guess, since I was like 14. Um, and so I knew that I wanted to sew it myself, and I've always loved like Love Live costumes and idol costumes, so I was like, I'm gonna design this myself. And it actually changed a lot from the original design as I was making it, because of like fabrics that I had. Like something that some people notice like during Tokutenkai and not from afar is that like some of the fabric is actually like fluffy and it has like stars embossed into it. And so those are like little details that I kind of added. I really wanted it to like sparkle on stage, so I used a lot of super shiny and iridescent fabrics for my main costume. And then I actually have another costume because I am over ambitious. Make things with no time. Um, and that one was because a group that I like, Azatoy, they released a song Pink Leopard, and I was like, oh, now I need a pink leopard print themed costume immediately. And then I threw it together in like a week. But I've worn that a couple times because it's a lot lighter and um, easier in the sun. Even though I got sunburnt from it, and I had like a terrible tan line for like weeks. because it has like a cuff, like a little arm cuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
so I had like a reverse farmer's tan, and anyone looking at me was like, "How the hell did she even get that?" Um, but yeah, those are my two costumes. And then my birthday costume, I wanted to go in a more like princessy direction and go like full like fantasy with it and like super sparkly and all of the materials that I think like myself as a kid would love. I think that's part of what goes into my costumes is like what do I look at and fall in love with? Um, and I want to give that feeling to other people.
Yeah, I mean, it is very. When I first saw the Dream Jam set and seeing your performance on stage, the outfit does stand out. It's very elegant, I'd say.
hmm Yeah, a lot of people afterwards and like in other performances are like, "Wow, I love your costume." And it really means a lot because like knowing how much time, especially when somebody like picks out a small detail, like one time I was taking Checky with someone and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like the contrasting thread you have here is so cool." I was like, "You noticed?" Like, "Oh, so much to me."
It's good to like have people compliment. I guess like in further detail. So for sure. How long did it take for that specific costume though?
Um, I did not give myself enough time. I think it took like 2 weeks to make
Ooh.
while in school, which
Oh.
is not a good idea. Do not do as I say, not as I do. Anybody who is thinking of doing that. I always do that to myself. I make my costume like I don't give myself enough time. And for that costume specifically, for my debut, it didn't give me enough time to practice as much as I wanted to, so I didn't feel as prepared. I was like, at least I'll be sparkly and shiny, so it'll be okay. But I definitely learned my lesson. Well, actually, I kind of didn't learn my lesson because short cake. I never learned my lesson. The short cakers costumes we also Jay and I made, and that was my idea. Bad idea. I was like a week before. I was like, what if we made our own costumes? I promise it'll be quick, and we threw them together in like 2 days somehow. Um, and yeah, I still don't know how, but it's really bad because now I'm like, oh, if we did short cakers in 2 days, then I could do this in 2 weeks. It's like, no, you can't. Don't do that to yourself. But I never learned because then I also made a new costume for CPAC, which was the pink leopard costume, and that was like in a week. But now I'm like, I have to hold back because I don't even have enough things to wear all to.
I do want to ask, like, how was there anything you wanted to add to the very first costume that was left on the cutting room floor?
There actually were a few things that changed from the original design. Initially, it had a cape,
Oh,
um, and actually, the overskirt that's on it right now can turn into a cape. Like it's convertible. I just haven't done it yet. But like, I guess spoiler for if I ever do that at a performance. But it is convertible into a cape. And also initially it had some like manta ray theming to it because I really like stingrays. Actually I prefer cow nose rays to manta rays, which is like a weird thing. People probably don't know what I'm talking about. But they're really cute. I've always loved stingrays. And it's also like part of my kind of cosplay name, Manta Ruby. And so I was like, oh, I could kind of be like the stingray idol. And then I was like, I think that I want to kind of create my own identity as opposed to like associating it with something specific. And also I ran out of time. But initially it had like a cape that looked like a manta ray. And also it was a lot like lighter in color. But again, like fabrics caught my eye and I changed my mind throughout the process.
so first costume created for your debut, Dream Jam. So you and Jay OdoreJamu, might as well just call her Jay. Split the set 50-50. It was like 15 minutes for you and then 15 minutes for Jay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, with 3 songs, how did you decide your set list?
I was kind of back and forth. I knew I wanted to do a Love Live song. And I decided on a Saron song, Kin Mirai Happy End, which I actually haven't performed since. I don't know if there's interest, maybe I will perform it again, but it's like 20 sets of butt kickers while singing, and it's kind of high, so it was definitely a challenge. And then also I was listening to a lot of Avam songs, and I picked Sugary Story because I don't know, it kind of stuck out to me, and I also wanted songs that were at least like somewhat interactive or had like the potential for mix and things like that. Um, so that's why I picked those two. I'm not exactly sure how I landed on them specifically. Um, but once I picked them, I was like, okay, these are the ones I'm gonna do. Um, and Sugary Story has like kind of remained in my consistent set list. Um, because I feel like it doesn't get it as much love as it should. I don't see it as often, so I'm happy that I'm able to perform it. But I haven't done Kimi no Happy End since debut.
Me, is this? Are you hinting at doing it for birthday live?
No, I'm not. I'm
Not.
not.
Oh man.
But there are other things that I could do it at. It's just there's also the thing that I didn't anticipate. Like there are so many things that go into picking songs that I learned kind of as I went, that I didn't know when I first started. And one of those was like for Kimi no Happy End, there's a lot of spaces since it's a song for three people, there's a lot of spaces where there's like dance breaks for three people and that you can't really turn into a dance for one person.
Right.
And I was like, and they also have flags in the choreography, and I was like, I don't have a flag. And they kind of just wave it around for like 8 counts, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And I didn't really know how to do like good fansa at the time, so I was like, am I just gonna run around on stage? That's kind of what I did. But that was like a challenge that I didn't see going into picking my songs.
Jared's asking, are you hinting at it for any other show? Question mark.
Um, I mean, if there is interest, there are some things that I haven't like solidified my set list for yet. So, um, things coming up. Actually, I guess I can announce some of those things. They aren't like super secret. At TeenyCon, I could do that song. I already said that I would do Sun Sun Summer by Utage, which I'm still down to do, if people come. But yeah, maybe I'll bring it back.
Oh, Edoji says, good luck with the birthday live. So, yeah.
Yay. Thank
Uh,
you.
so, going back a little bit, because going through your Twitter, and like, I remember your recent posts. I think you said you were classically trained, right?
Yes.
So, with that, did you have any other experience before Idol outside of like the masquerades, performing on stage and like
Mhm.
doing vocals or choreo?
Yeah, I actually have like a lot of experience with like music and performance in general. I've been in choirs since like third grade. Um, and then also I'm like classically trained as as like a classical singer. I know a lot of music theory. I compose choral music. I haven't done it in a while, but I also played percussion and piano. So I can, do a little basic rock beat on the drum set. Um, and a couple other things, some more like jazzy things and like Latin music, for percussion. Um, and then also I did musical theater. But the funny thing about me doing musical theater is that I went to an all-girls school and I have a pretty deep voice, especially with singing. And so I would always play men. I think in every single one of my singing roles, I was a man. Um,
Typecasted.
so it's yeah, it's a very different vibe singing because I have like singing like as a man, and then singing in like a choir, which I was also an alto, so I was like singing pretty low. And then like classical, and I sound so different in each of those styles. And then trying to like think about that and like how do I adjust my voice for idol performances? It's still a challenge. It's still working through. I've definitely grown a lot, but like I played Amos from Chicago, and a very small male role, or not very small, a very small show, like very unknown. Wasn't on Broadway or anything. And then I also was the baker from Into the Woods. And so which some people know about. I can see in the chat.
My wife is
Um,
dead.
yeah, that was one of my lines. And people joked like, "Oh wow, your wife actually died," because I said it with a lot of gusto. Um, but yeah, that was definitely a switch up from like learning for years to like how do I sound like a man, and then it's like how do I sound like an idol. Um, very big switch, and I like doing both. So I think that now with some of my recent songs, like Gun Gun Hero was the first song where it's like I'm able to kind of showcase my more like powerful vocals and like chest voice. And so I'm trying to bring that into some of my other songs as well because I think it was well received and also it's really fun to just like go full send in a song like that.
Can't wait. Wait, is that recorded? No, it wasn't. It wasn't on the Dream Jam set because like the only full set that I
No,
have
yeah.
is just Dream Jam. So
Yeah,
hopefully.
Dream Jam. Yeah, I've grown a lot since Dream Jam for sure. I've done Gun Gun Hero at actually I just posted I did it at no, Capital City Anime Fest in the 90-degree heat, which was
Ooh.
a challenge, but it was still fun. And then I also that was one that I did at Japan Fest in the rain, which was also fun. It felt like it was like ambiance, like right that the one move at the beginning where I'm like standing up and it's like raining. Or it was like
So, going back to Dream Jam, you do two solo songs and then you do the collab with Jay.
Mhm.
After the fact, how did you feel after that first performance?
it was kind of unreal still. I think also part of I'm very like analytical of myself, so I was like, oh, I messed up this, and all of these things. But then afterwards, like talking to people, and they were like, I just had a great time, and like for your first time, that was great. And I was like, wait, maybe I was just overthinking a little bit, um, because like people had a fun time, and that's what really matters. But yeah, it definitely felt a little bit unreal. I was like, wait, I just did that, like I debuted. Now I'm like, I can actually say I'm an idol. Like that's kind of crazy.
Oh, now you are an idol. Congratulations. But also with being an idol, you have to do a thing called Bupan and Tokutenkai, and I
Yeah.
would assume that would be your very first time doing that. So how was
Yeah.
that?
It was fun. It was harder than I thought, to be honest.
Hmm.
Because I consider myself like pretty good at like kind of talking and just like yapping. But when it isn't about specific topics, it's like, wait, what do I even talk about? So it was a bit of a challenge, learning like how to just kind of talk to people because it's like, oh, if you ask me about like some random like academic thing, like if you ask me to talk about like consequentialism, I can like I could like talk, but then I realized like, oh, that kind of like public speaking skill is not the same as like just kind of talking to somebody as an idol during Toku Tenkai because it's like they don't want it to feel like an interview or like, they're in a debate. They want to kind of just talk to you and who you really are. And so it's definitely a challenge. And like I definitely look up to a lot of the idols who are so great at like connecting with people so quickly. I think it's something I struggle with a little bit, but something that I've gotten better at over time. Um, but there were some like fun. I think during one of the first people who took Checky with me, they were like, "You were the Ruby idol, right?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, sure. I guess I am."
Well, full circle, I guess.
Yeah.
um, so Dream Jam, Bupan, performance done. What other performances did you have after that?
After Dream Jam, I think the first performance I had after Dream Jam was Idol Village, which was also amazing. Like so much fun, such an amazing crowd. I always love being in the crowd and performing was so much fun. Cotton Candy AO. I have to do it again at some point because it was really fun. I mean like with other people because I have done it again since. And then I think after that I might forget things. I don't know if Japan Fest was the next thing I did, but somewhere in the middle, Japan Fest, um, and oh wait, I think Castle Point was before that. I did the Gorilla Live at Castle Point or Sky Stage at Home, I think is what people called it.
It's the
Um,
parking garage.
which was really funny. But yeah, that was really fun. And then after that was Japan Fest, which was my first time doing a set that long. So it was 30 minutes. And then I became a little bit grateful that I was ambitious before with like adding new songs to my set list. Because even though at the time I was like, maybe I should have just stuck with the songs I originally did, then for Japan Fest, I was like, okay, I already have 30 minutes of songs I can do. So I was like, maybe it kind of worked out. And then after that was another Japan Fest, and Capital City Anime Fest. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything.
Girls
I
Band Night.
think that was oh, Girls Band Night. How could I forget? Yeah, that was really fun. It was just one song, but the energy was like amazing, and I had a ton of fun with like the fog and everything. And that was like a kind of surreal moment when I was like getting on stage because people were like calling my name, and I was like you know me? I'm you. So that was kind of unreal. And another unreal moment for me was during Idol Village, the mix during the dance break of oh my gosh, how am I forgetting? I literally performed it. Kimero Syndrome. Like I think I almost started crying, and like when I look back on that, I'm like, ugh, because it's just everyone's so like the crowds are always just so amazing, and everyone's so like supportive, um, and like you just really feel loved when you're on stage.
You've been like, even though it's like been a couple months, you've been performing like in different, I guess, conditions. You performed at Japan Fest when it was raining. You performed at a Gorilla Live at CPAC. You performed at Girls Band Night, which isn't really like, isn't an idol crowd, but like kind of is. And then you performed at Idol Village, which is the regulars, the WOTA. What
Mhm.
I guess what environment do you like prefer performing at?
Um, I don't know if I have a super strong preference. I think that like having at least like some what is there always makes me feel better. Um, like at Japan Fest the first time when it was raining, that was my first time performing mostly in front of people who know nothing about idols or like anything idol adjacent on like a con where even if they're not like Kai Idol people, they kind of have a sense. Like that was just people walking by on their day-to-day life, stopping by for some food, which was a bit intimidating because I was like, oh, normal people are judgy and scary. um, and so I didn't really know what to expect, but like having the crowd of regulars there like having fun and not being afraid to just like have fun even around like all of these kind of just everyday people was really really fun, and also like people are a lot more kind than you assume they are. Like people were interested and did find it cool, and there was like a little kid there who was just having the time of her life, and I like looked over to her at some point and like interacted with her, and she was so excited. And it's just like moments like that that just kind of make your day. But yeah, I don't know if I have a preference. I'm a very like go with the flow person. Like if things go wrong, I think that my kind of mentality is like, oh, this is just like Love Live. Like no matter what happens, like if something goes well, I'm like, wow, this is just like Love Live. And if something goes horribly, I'm like, wow, this is just like Love Live. Because and that's one of my favorite parts about Love Live is that things will go wrong, and it's just part of the story. It's like they get back up, but it's not a super unrealistic story where like everything goes their way all the time. And I think that that kind of prepared me for what being an idol is actually like. Because like when it started raining, I was like, wow, this is just like snow halation. I'll be fine. And like and these are all like kind of good stories because when I walked up to the roof at CPAC for Gorilla Live, I was like, wow, this is just like Love Live. It's just my kind of reaction to everything. And it definitely prepares me for like the best and the worst.
Yeah, I mean, life is just like Love Live.
Life is just like Love Live. Maybe the real idol or the Love Lives.
So, a lot of performances under your belt over, I guess, like 4 months of time, 3 months. Nope.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
When did I debut? I guess was it March? I think so.
Late
I
February,
think.
early March, I think it was.
Yeah, early March.
So,
Which is kind of crazy. It's been a very short period of time, but a lot has happened.
a lot has happened. And I guess this is going to segue into I guess, the main topic of the show, which is your birthday live alongside OdoreJamu. I love dreams. Might as well talk about it. But first, might as well talk and ask, how did you first meet Jay? I guess like way before Dream Jam.
hmm Um, It's actually kind of funny. We didn't get super close until I guess it was like January or February. We knew of each other because of like the cause idol space. And then I think it was at Key's birthday live. We found out that because I transferred schools, I was doing business and then I switched to fashion, which was a big switch. But I was living in the city, and it turned out that Jay and I, we were gonna live, even though we didn't go to the same school, we were living across from each other, um, like literally right across from each other. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So then right after that, we started hanging out pretty frequently because we were literally neighbors. And then we did shortcakers. We found out that our birthdays are a day apart, which is also crazy. My birthday's July 11th and Jay's is July 10th. Um, and so we got very close very fast after that. And we were hanging out very frequently, making costumes. And actually, I think that even though making shortcakers in 2 days wasn't really a good idea, um, I think that it helped us kind of bond in a very short period of time. Trauma bond maybe, but
Trauma bond.
self-inflicted. Actually, entirely me inflicted. I'm sorry, Jay, for putting you through all that. But yeah, we got close pretty quickly because we were neighbors, and then also like we both live pretty close to each other outside of the city as well. And so we were like, actually, I think before I even debuted, we were thinking about doing a birthday live together. And then we were trying to plan out, okay, well, in order to do a birthday live together, I kind of have to debut. um, so this has been a long time coming. We've been planning this for months, so it's crazy that it's now a week away.
Hmm. Oh, Jared is like, oh, Liza said they kidnapped me to film an MV. Oh, was that?
Oh yeah, that also
Was
that
that?
also kind of happened. That was for shortcakers. It was really funny. We were in the hallway of FIT, and then we see Liza coming out of class. We're like, Liza? It's like, oh my gosh, because we're in like our full shortcakers outfits to go do our shoot, and then Liza was like, oh, I'll tag along. Um, so yeah, a little bit of kidnapping perhaps perchance. But I hope Liza had fun anyway. Liza was helpful, very helpful giving tips, because there are things that I have, while I have experience like performing live, I did not have much experience like filming things. And there were things that I kind of didn't think about or didn't know, and Liza was there to be like, "Oh, you guys should try this." And I was like, "Wait, that's really smart. I didn't know that."
Oh, Jared's like, throwback when I first met Shira and was asked if I knew Jay, and I had a whole conversation thinking about a different Jay. Oh, probably strawberry skies Jay. So.
Yeah. Yes, that did happen.
So, you meet Jay, and then you had, I guess, an idea of a birthday live even before you debuted. You debut now,
Mhm.
and then you're like, I guess we'll do a birthday live. So who did you, I guess, like, how did that get planned out, and who did you like contact?
We started kind of thinking about how we wanted it to go on our own, and then we kind of, I or both of us or one of us DM'd Ashes. We went on our hands and knees. We were like, please, Mother Ashes, feed us a birthday live. And Ashes was like, yes, I will bestow upon you a birthday live. Um, so yeah, that's how it kind of went. We asked, we were like, hey, would it be possible? We've been thinking about this and planning, and then we kind of started setting dates and guests and things like that. But yeah, it would not have been possible without the goats at Voda Sans Frontiers, as always. So yeah.
Very much a helpful hand on the East Coast, and very much building up that East Coast idol scene is
Yes.
Voda Sans Frontiers. Thank you, Ashes. Thank you, Ando. Yes, all hail. So on the flyer, which we just passed, it's you, Jay, and then the two other performers are Yumero Picnic and Arrow.
Yes.
How did you decide on, I guess, bringing them for the show, and did you have any other guests in mind?
I think that it was kind of like natural to pick them, I mean, they're all like friends of ours. And also like for me, uh, Dream Jam was like Yume Piku organized it, and so they kind of gave me my debut stage. So I was like, I'll, you know, give them an opportunity to perform, of course. And all of them are like inspire me a lot, and helped really introduce me to the Kaigai idol scene. And like, I have lots of memories of Arrow like sending me different idols and being like, look at this performance, isn't this so cool? And we would just like sit together and like go through things, and same with the other two. And I introduced Key to our wife, Hinano, and got Key into Neo Japo. And like witnessed the moment of Key falling in love. And I fought with Liza over I'll give it to her wife, Jamu from Mad Med. Uh Even though I was interested in marrying her, but she was taken, so it was fine. But all jokes, but they were, I think, all people who were really important to me in my idol journey. And also, I can't speak for Jay, but I think like helped, support Jay, and support both of us through our journeys. And so it made sense for them to perform. And also, it's kind of fitting because we're doing like Isle of Dreams is the theme, and Yume Piku they're doing Wedding High Five. So
Oh,
yeah,
who are
which is not a spoiler because they did mention that it would be happening already. So it is not a spoiler.
I want.
Um,
I wonder who
or
they're
I guess
gonna
it
walk down
is
the
for this
aisle.
room.
So.
Well, actually, um, that's been kind of decided. Liza said that if we sell out, then she'd be marrying Elise. Who, if you don't know Elise, if you when you saw the Dream Jam video, the wonderful girl in the crowd with the pink hair, and
Oh.
she's yes, and you'll spot her in a lot of other performance videos in the crowd. So yeah, she if we sell out, then Elise will get married to Liza.
Neat. So, you made a picnic, Arrow, full circle, because they kind of brought you into the scene. Might as well give them opportunities to perform as well.
Yes.
Um, is preparing for this event, which is, I guess, mainly organized by you and Jay, different compared to any other performance?
Yeah, it's definitely very different. And for me, like very intentionally different, because I really don't want to repeat the mistakes that I did in some of my other performances when it comes to like not giving myself enough time to prepare, or like, spending too much time on costumes and not thinking about or not spending enough time on like really locking down the songs that I want. Um, because that was definitely something I felt after my performances was like, oh, I needed these songs to be like, laser engraved into my brain, and they were just like written in wash away marker. um, so I was like, okay, I need to give myself a lot of time because when I feel like there's kind of a point where where you're like singing a song or doing a choreography on stage, and then there's like the next level where you're actually able to perform it, and that only comes when you know the choreography and dance so well, or the choreography, the lyrics, uh, how you want to perform it. You can only do the rest and like have the most fun when you already know all of those things. Like you don't even have to think about them because engaging with the crowd and things like that, and really taking in the moment when you're thinking about like, oh, where does my foot go in the next beat and what's my next lyric. It's really hard to be in the moment when you have to think about those things, and so I was like, I can't fall into that trap again. I can't procrastinate on learning things. And like every single day I've been practicing my singing and making sure that it's where I want it to be for the show. And the songs, I was a lot more intentional in picking them. Like I want songs that are engaging and songs that kind of represent who I am, um, as an idol and as a person. And so the preparations have been different, for sure. It's been a lot more time and consideration and like making sure that I don't rush into things because I can get too ambitious with performances and like doing new songs, new costumes, things like that. So I was like, okay, I have to take a step back. I have to start learning things way ahead of time to make sure that I can actually have a performance that I'm fully proud of, and that I feel like I did my best with. Because for my other performances, like I'm definitely proud of certain elements of them, but I feel like I haven't been able to showcase really who I am just yet. And I think that Birthday Live will be my opportunity to do that.
Well, I can't wait for that, and there will be a stream.
Yes.
I don't know if when WSF will have the live stream tickets, but like the Spirit tickets have like the link to the live stream, so that's
Mhm.
so yeah, I can't wait for that. I know you've been this is like going into worst pep talk ever tier, but like I know you've been preparing a lot and you've been posting like I guess snippets of you practicing, so
Mhm.
it'll be worth it in the end. So and I
Yes.
can't wait to see it.
Yes. I'm excited. Very nervous, but very excited as well.
You'll do fine. it's it's you know, after like every single or even before every single big interview, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so worried, and then I do the thing and it's like, yep, it happened. It'll be the same for
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah. And the other thing that I really have to remind myself of, like at certain performances is it's like the people in the crowd are not taking notes on your performance. They're there to have fun.
right,
And they are having fun regardless. And I have to remind myself, I think what helps most is like when I'm in the crowd, I'm like, I'm not listening super intently on the person's lyrics or watching their choreography to see that their like arm is at a perfect 90-degree angle. Like I'm
right,
just
yeah.
there having fun. Um, and so I think that I have to remind myself, like, the people there are there to support you. They're there to have fun. And so as long as you're having fun, they're having fun. Um, and that's what matters most.
Um, so you did like give some hints of what songs you're gonna do, but like any other hints that you want to say?
I think we will be posting set lists, or at least what will be posted of the set list soon. But I'll give some hints for people for some of my songs, and maybe you'll catch. This is that's hint number one, choreography hint, and it's Love Live. So there's hint number one, um, and then hint number two for another one of my songs. That's not super specific because I think a lot of songs with goofy choreography had in them. And then my last song is gonna be, or my another one of my songs, is gonna be more like sentimental. So I'm excited about that. And because I've been working hard for like the vocals for it, and also it's a very meaningful song to me. So I hope that I can kind of share that emotion with everyone in the crowd.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
um,
Oh, I do want to ask, where did the concept come from for Isle of Dreams?
how much shall I say? I mean, we kind of had a wedding idea for it. And so we were thinking, like, we took a very long time to think of the name. Um, like there were so many, I could probably find so many like texts back and forth between me and Jay of like trying to think of a name and it devolving into just like really stupid things. Because we couldn't think of anything. And then I think it was like one night I was like, oh, well, I guess we could kind of think of like the wedding theme we were considering, and I was like, Isle of Dreams? And they're like, hey, that has a ring to it. Maybe that's what we should go with. So that's what we ended up going with. I feel like usually when it comes to names, that's how things go. Is it's like you spend so long thinking about it, and then it's like the one time that like it just kind of comes to you that it's like, ah, this is the one. So I'm glad it did. And then yeah, both of our costumes ended up going pretty well together, which we didn't plan initially. But they ended up kind of matching pretty well, which you can't, I guess, see super well from the flyer, but more things will be posted where you can see our costumes a little better. Um, but yeah, it was kind of just a lucky streak.
Yeah, can't wait for the costumes. Can't wait for them to be on stage. So
Yes. I'm very excited. It's one of my I think it's like one of my most ambitious costumes. It's done. So, yay me. And it's wearable. It's not gonna fall apart. But yeah, I'm very proud of it. It's gonna be super sparkly. And I think one of the big inspirations was Miki from iLife, her birthday live costume. Actually, I mean, I started designing mine before I saw hers, and then I saw her birthday live clips, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to add as much sparkle and things to mine as possible because it just was so beautiful on stage. And I was like, I want that.
Yeah. Shout out iLife.
Yes, shout out to iLife. There will be
Um,
iLife at Birthday Live.
yeah.
Another spoiler.
So, if you
Not
haven't,
actually iLife. iLife will not be
oh no, you're not flying them over. Darn.
there.
Well, even with that,
iLife at home.
I live at home.
Sorry.
Even with that, you could, if you haven't gotten a ticket yet, if you are in the East Coast area, go buy a ticket to Isle of Dreams at the Rat, New York City.
Yes.
Shout out. Yeah. The Rat, even though I've only seen it through video, it is a very, I guess, intimate venue. So very awesome for a birthday live.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, might as well head into our final section of the interview, future / retrospect. What would you consider your favorite song that you performed as of right now?
As of right now, I think it always changes, but right now it's Gangan Hero. Um, it's a very different energy for most of the other songs I perform, but it's so fun to perform. And also I think part of the reason why it's my favorite is because my Iris Oshi said that it was her favorite. And so then I got excited for her. I was like, I have to do better and better for her. Shout out Kinoko, my wife. I love you. Um, but yeah, I think that's one of my favorites right now because it's just like you really get to feel the energy when you're performing it. Um, and like, I think that Cotton Candy AO is always really fun as well. Because it's it's Ruby, and also everyone always is like, oh my gosh, it's Cotton Candy. So it's always fun to do songs like that that get everyone excited.
And as an idol, it's good to get the crowd hyped, for sure. Moving on. Even though you've just been, I guess, active for a couple months now, I guess looking further away in the future, what are some things you want to really improve on?
I think I think that in the beginning and like earlier in I guess the first I don't even know timeline wise, I was really kind of down on myself about not like starting out perfect because I think before I debuted I had this idea in my head that like I'll prepare a ton beforehand and I'll be perfect and ready to go on stage and then I'm going to get up there and blow everybody away and I'll be amazing. Um and then it didn't go exactly like that. Like I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be. And it it just didn't really go that way. And I was kind of down on myself about that because I was like, oh, I really wanted to have a like, a really great start. And I kind of felt that way for for my first few performances. And then I was thinking about it more. I was like, what kind of idol do I want to be? Um, and like, why am I an idol in the first place? And I was thinking about how idols have inspired me, and how really my goal is to inspire others the same way that idols have inspired me for a really big part of my life. Um, and then I was thinking about like kind of my philosophy with other things. Like on my cosplay account, I keep up all of my old posts, like even from like my first ever cosplay post is up there. And one time, like one of my friends was asking me, like, why do you keep those up there? Like you look so different now, like you're so much better now. And I was like, well, I want people to see my growth and see how far I've come since then. Um, and so I'm fine if people scroll all the way down and see that I wasn't perfect back then and that I've gotten a lot better since. And then I was like, why don't I have that same attitude with idol things? Because sometimes I think for some people, seeing an idol who's just so perfect from the start is super inspiring. And then for other people, seeing an idol who grows um, and you can really see their progression is can be just as inspiring for them, if not more. And I was like, I think that I'm okay with being that kind of idol because I feel confident in saying that I have grown a lot since my first performance. Um, and like every single performance has been like, one step better than the next. And so I think that showing people that growth is something that is important to me. And so there are so many things that I want to improve on. And I'm really happy that I'm able to kind of share all of those improvements with people as I grow instead of kind of in the shadows, because there are some things that you really can't know until you're on stage. Like, how close do you need the mic to your face? Like the first performance I did not know. I was like, I was not eating the mic like I should have been eating the mic. And there are just things in like how to interact with the crowd. Like the feeling you have on stage is so different from when you're in practice. You don't have like a mirror in front of you. Um, and so just learning as I went was really the only way that I think I would have started. Because as in my head, I'm the type of person who prepares a lot before something and then does it really well. But then in actuality, I kind of procrastinate a bit, or I focus on the wrong things, or get too kind of bogged down in the details, or just never start because I'm like, oh, I'll only start when I'm perfect. But I had to learn that if I started perfect, like if I wanted to start perfect, I never would have started. Um, and so for some people, I think that they need to know that they could just start and then learn on the job. Because if I didn't start, then I wouldn't have ever started, I don't think.
Sure. I mean, like, if you are expecting someone in the Kaiga idol scene or like the Chica idol scene also running parallel to be very much perfect, like accurate point, like all the dances to be so perfect at debut, like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's always gonna
Yeah.
be following them. It's not gonna be rough, but it's like following them from the first show, and then them slowly improving, and just watching them
Hmm.
slowly improve. I guess that's the main aspect of both idol scenes in general.
Yeah.
It's just seeing their growth. So
Yeah. And I think part of what like influenced me is um before kind of looking into like the Kai Guy idol scene and like J-pop, I I've been like I was in the K-pop community and for a little bit, and watched a lot of like survival shows, which was also like a big inspiration to me. But the the kind of community there, I feel like is a lot more judgmental sometimes,
cutthroat,
or
yeah.
expects perfection, from even people who haven't debuted yet. And so seeing people's like reactions to like trainees during Girls Planet when they have like one voice crack or mess up one thing in the choreography, I was like, oh, I can't do that. Because in order like to be a performer, you have to be perfect. But that's not true in I think any type of performance. And so having a community that is really supportive, and wants to see your growth as opposed to just seeing you at your best, I think was really important.
Yeah, gotta follow that growth,
Yeah.
because if you are perfect from the start, then what's the point? I mean, that's cool, but like
Yeah.
it's that journey for sure.
Yeah.
Um, well, we talked about what you wanted to improve on. I will I will ask, what other goals do you want to achieve in 2026? You've pretty much hit a home run with Birthday Live already.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
what other things would you like to achieve?
I mean, there are so many things that have kind of already happened. There are some very exciting, like there are a lot of goals that I would have had that already are like in my future that I can't really talk about right now.
Ooh,
Um, but yeah, it is kind of crazy. Like so many good things are coming my way. I think some of my big goals, I mean, one of the goals that will be happening soon is doing like performances out of the East Coast area, or trying performing in different areas. So soon I'll have some performances in other places that I'm excited for that to get, to go public. Um and then also I think like kind of out there goals. A big dream of mine would be to do like a band set show. That's something that I think would be really sick. One of my big goals. And also just doing more things in the local community, like tie bonds. There are also like other things like a set list swap or a costume swap would be so much fun. Um, and then I'm trying to think of other like kind of goals in general. I think my goal has always been just to like inspire people, and like if I inspire one person, then like that then I've achieved my goal. Um, and so I'm happy to just like perform. So I think that if I were to hear from someone like, "Oh, you inspired me to do XYZ," then that would like mean the world to me. um, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any other big goals that I have. Um, I think Yusuf would be kind of crazy, the big goal. Um, and other like kind of more standalone or independent things, um, like, one man Taibon thing like that would be really cool. But yeah.
Well, those are some goals that definitely could happen in the future. Definitely a lot of them. So we'll see. And
Yes.
if I really, if you can perform out of the East Coast, hopefully I can see you on the West Coast.
Yes.
If Yusuf, if
Hopefully.
whatever
That would be
other
so cool.
event, but yeah,
Hmm.
shall see.
Yeah, I haven't been over there for since I was like a kid,
Ooh,
so it would be really cool just to like I'd love to explore and like see other communities. I think that that would be just and will be just such a fun experience, both in the crowd and then also on stage.
for sure. The the West Coast scene is definitely popping, and the East Coast scene has definitely, I guess, it's very equal. I'd say now it is. So, um,
Hmm.
you talked about Arrow, you talked about Ymir Picnic as inspirations. Who else in the Kaiga Idol community inspires you?
Hmm. Well, I think a lot of them are my friends. Like, yeah, Arrow, Yume Piku, very inspiring for me. Their like sincerity and how hardworking they all are. And also like I mentioned Rin Rin, she was definitely an inspiration. Like seeing her perform, um, was one of the first times that I saw a Kai Idol perform live and was like, oh, this is something that I could do. And also just had a great time. Um, and like Paida is an inspiration for sure. um, Very lots of different Kai idols who I see and have seen for a while, um, and kind of just thought it was like a pie in the sky. But seeing them like really, and also just Kai idols who were doing things in the East Coast and just in general before there was like the scene was like exploding or before it became the whole thing, because like we wouldn't have the scene we have now without them. And I think that it's especially inspiring when when people are like pursuing their passions when there isn't like a huge community for it or a huge demand for it because they create that themselves, and that's really hard, to go out of your comfort zone or to like step forward and show what you love, um, before other people have kind of given you the approval for it.
Yeah, everyone in this scene is pretty, I guess, impactful. I'd say.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. And Jay, I definitely look up to Jay as well.
yeah.
She's like we kind of balance each other out very well. Um, and so there are definitely qualities that she has that I am lacking in. So I definitely look up to her as well.
Um, I usually ask if you could go back in time, what would you tell your past self? But um, I guess to change that up, where do you see yourself a year from now with Idol?
Hmm. That's a good question. Well, there's definitely a lot of things. I think I want to. Hopefully, I'll be at a point where I'll be able to like give back to the community more. Because right now, since I'm, I guess, more like up and coming or whatever you want to say, a newer idol, um, and less established, it's more like people are giving me opportunities, and so I hope like a year from now, I'll be a bit more established and I'll be able to kind of give back, um, and like give newer idols that opportunity. And a year even isn't very long, but still, um, I think that hopefully I'll be able to do that, um, and also just be more, I guess, like skill wise, be stronger, and also know who I am as an idol a bit more. Those are all things that I kind of hope I can do, um, in the future, like a year from now. Uh, yeah, I guess those are all things.
shall see. And I definitely, for sure, you are definitely going to inspire, I guess, another wave of Kai idols in the future, probably. So.
Yes, I hope so.
Ooh. Outside of Isle of Dreams, do you have any other confirmed performances that you want to talk about publicly?
I'm trying to think of what is like public. I mean I've like hinted at TeenyCon. That's a thing that is happening, so I can say that officially. And I think it's July 12th, so it's the day after my birthday. So that's fun. Um, but other than that, just keep an eye out because there are a few things that are not public as of yet, but will be soon. And so if you want to see more of me, and maybe if you live in a different place and want to see more of me, then and also maybe see some different sides of me as a performer, then keep an eye out.
Ooh, C-Line, MVP of the chat. He asks, what would be your dream setup for your own one-man or birthday show? We talked about birthday show, so we might as well talk about one-man.
Yes. Yeah, I think that if I were to do like a solo or like a solo birthday live at some point or a one man, what would be? I guess I've thought about that a little bit. I think that I think establishing like really great energy in the crowd, doing songs that are that get the crowd involved and allow them to have fun would be something important to me in a one man. But I think that like doing a solo one man is kind of like scary. So another, I guess this is like another big goal, but I would like to do some original music at some point. Because I do write music. I mean choral music, so I'm not gonna be like, singing 4-part harmony, one person on stage. But I definitely want to explore that more. I don't know how to write lyrics or really produce music, but I do know how to write music. So it's something that I want to do some more of. But yeah, if it was like, I have infinite budget and I can make my one man, I think that I would have a band because I think that always just makes the energy so amazing. And then I would be able to do some like original music in this ideal world where I can do this.
Yeah. I remember, I think Sherry Ife did live band backing, and then also Yumira Picnic is gonna do one.
Yes, I won't be there, but I will be watching. I'm very excited.
Yeah. I mean, live band definitely amplifies the performance for sure. So
yeah.
And this concludes the interview part of Idolize, but we have one more thing called the worst pep talk ever, where I give you, Shira, a pep talk for 1 minute, and it sucks. So, Shira, even though you have just started earlier this year, you have definitely made an impact. You have definitely, wow, you are fast tracking the idol journey with a birthday live so soon. But like, I can't wait for IO Dreams. I can't wait to see you guys perform on stream, and hopefully I can see you perform whenever that may be. Hopefully on the West Coast, because that'll definitely be better on my wallet, but hopefully whenever it may be, because Dream Jam, even though you do say you have improved after the fact, but like the Dream Jam performance was really good and a good first impression. Even if you made mistakes, or in your head you made mistakes, or whatever you thought, it was fine. It was great. It was a good first impression. So I can't wait for whenever I can see you, and whenever other I guess more footage of your performances will be I guess uploaded, or I'll just ask Ando if he has footage, I guess. But yeah, keep on going. Yeah, honestly, you have a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see what happens or what you'll do next year. So yeah, see, awful. Minute 19.
No, it was great. Thank you.
No.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's always bad.
No, it was good. It's always good. It's always great.
But yeah, if you have not followed Shira yet, follow Shira on Instagram. I think that has all your SNS. Maybe just Instagram.
I think so. Instagram, yeah, Instagram, and then Twitter, which is also on my Instagram.
Yeah. So follow Shira on Instagram, on Twitter. Go to Isle of Dreams. If you're not in the East Coast area, buy a live stream ticket or
Yes.
buy a spirit ticket because it comes with a digital bromide that is from Jay and Shira. That'll be cool.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you, Shira, for being on the show. I
Thank
can't
you.
wait for what you'll do in the future, and I can't wait for the show.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me on the show. It was one of my goals when I started doing Kai Idol things. I was like, oh, I hope one day I could go on IDOLEYEZ. So the fact that I'm able to do it so soon is kind of crazy.
It's crazy that I've heard a lot of people say that Idolize was like in their bucket list, and it's crazy to hear that, but it is very much, I guess, a boost on my end. So thank you for being on the show, and thank
Of
you
course.
for, I guess, anticipating being on the show. So
Of course.
but yeah, but this isn't it for this week for Idolize, because on Sunday, on Father's Day, after you spend time with the family, you can spend time with Reveille. June 21st, Sunday, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. We got Biddy and Chloe from Reveille, a collaboration formed earlier this year. We'll talk to them about how they met each other and how they formed Reveille. Pew, 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 pew. But yeah, buy a stream ticket. Go to the World of Sans Frontier's Twitter or IG. They probably have a link to the Isle of Dreams, I guess, ticket site. So buy a stream ticket there. Woo.
Yes, I promise it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So many things. There's something for everyone, so it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you missed any part of the show, the VOD will be up tomorrow on youtube.com/@idoleyez101. And yeah, support Shira. Support Jaya too. So yeah. And that'll be it for this show. Take care, brush hair, be kind, rewind. We'll be going to our ending screen. Bye bye. Pew 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 pew.